Welcome to part 7 of prepping the Yankee way. And this time, it's personal protection. Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining Yankee Stacking. And this time, it's about personal protection. You know, I'm going to start right off the bat and tell you that I am not an expert when it comes to weapons and personal protection in general. In fact, if you're looking for a video about this massive arsenal and fully automatic, incredible weapons and so forth, this is not the right channel for you. I enjoy watching a lot of channels that have some amazing guns. You're not going to see that here. You're not going to see an AR. You're not going to see an AK. You're not going to see a lot of really cool weapons. Weapons that I actually would enjoy having. And actually, there is one gun at the end of this video I will share with you that I'm planning on purchasing. One that I think would be a very good addition for Yankee. Before I get into weapons, I want to say that I'm not the best at what you're going to see here. I'm not the best in a lot of ways that I prep. I'm not the best in food and water prep. I'm not the best in currency or power prepping. I'm not the best in supplies. And I'm certainly not the best when it comes to precious metals. Those are the first 6 episodes of prepping the Yankee way. So this is no different. I am not the best when it comes to personal protection. But what I want to be is average in a wide landscape of preps, and maybe even above average in some places. So I will tell you what I do when it comes to personal protection, and you can comment to your heart's content, and I will read every one of my comments that you send. I will read every one, and I will learn from them. So I'm going to be focusing on weapons, of course, not so much surveillance or monitoring and other ways that you can protect yourself. Before we get to guns, let me just state that a good knife makes great protection. I mean, obviously you don't want to bring a knife to a gunfight, but honestly, if you have a good knife, you're in good shape. There are a lot of other ways and a lot of other preps that you can do with knives. I do like the auto knives a lot. I have several. Knives are handy and good to have. So is a baseball bat. So is a compound bow, and I have one of those too. Mace, a taser. There's all kinds of protection that you can have. But the best protection, I believe, is a gun. And let me give you a little background about how Yankee got into guns. I haven't always had weapons. When I grew up, my father had a shotgun. He actually never shot that shotgun. But I thought how cool it was that my dad had a shotgun. I never had a gun until 2009. After I had gotten married, there was an incident in New Hampshire, where I live, that really rocked a lot of communities. There was a thrill killing by 4 teenagers in the town of Mount Vernon in New Hampshire, and it was just horrific. I won't go into the gory details. But after that, I had a long talk with Mrs. Yankee Stacking. And she said, you know what, maybe it's time to get a gun. So the first gun I ever got was a .357 Magnum. It was a wheel gun, and I could shoot either .357 rounds, full loads, or .38. And it was a good first gun to get used to shooting. But then I traded that in, and I got my first semi-automatic. The first gun I got was one of these. This is a .22. And actually, I also want to state that I don't want to get into a caliper war here over which caliper is the best to have, right? So you can have all different types of calipers. The calipers that I've focused mostly on is .22s because it's cheap, it's easy to shoot. I can teach my kids how to use it. I can teach my wife how to use it, and it is lethal. All right, you can ruin your day if you get shot with a .22. In fact, I've heard rumors, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, that the most common assassination round is a .22. So it's a deadly caliper. I definitely like the 22. I also love Ruger, if you haven't figured this out. So I got a laser sight on it. It's a great plinking round. It's a great plinking gun, I should say. You can shoot rounds all day and not feel like you're breaking the bank. And it's very easy. It fits my small hand grip very nicely. It feeds all kinds of 22 rounds. I love this gun for just going out and having a good day target practicing. So that's the Ruger SR22. Love it. The other gun was a Ruger 1022. This is a nice long rifle for shooting varmints and taking care of critters. That's also a really nice gun. The 1022, again, feeds all kinds of rounds, all kinds of types of 22 rounds, I should say. But it's a good all-purpose gun for prepping. Highly recommend the Ruger 1022. And then for my everyday carry, I use the Ruger LC9S Pro. This is a great gun too. It's nice and compact. It's a single stack. It's very small grip too. Again, my hands are small, so I really love this. It fits really close. So when I have a, whether it's this type of holster inside or outside, this is a inside-outside holster, or a Keltec type. These clip on. It's very nice to have this tucked in if I like inside the waist. But this is a really good gun for everyday carry. I love my LC9S Pro. It doesn't have a safety on it either, too. So you pull it out, you're ready to go. You're not going to be fumbling for anything. But this is a great gun to have. And I don't have a lot of guns, guys. You're looking at my arsenal right here. 22 22s and a 9mm. That's it. Is there a fourth gun I'd like? Yes, I want a shotgun. That is a fantastic personal protection, home invasion type protection weapon. I think a shotgun would be great. Would I love an AR? You bet you. I have a lot of money going into a lot of other areas other than guns, so I wanted to, make sure that I had enough to protect myself. And I have a friend that has a membership at a local range, and he has all kinds of toys that I love to shoot. So one day, I do expect to have a shotgun soon, hopefully next year. And then we'll see where it goes from there. I'm not going to build a big arsenal. I want it to be very focused on personal protection. That's the prep I'm talking about. So let's talk about what I think the 4 important steps to preparing the Yankee way when it comes to personal protection. Number 1, get a caliper you're comfortable with. You don't want to get a massive gun and feel overpowered. You want to have good control. That's why I actually do think the 22 is a good starting round for most people. If somebody comes into your home to invade it, to cause mayhem, especially in a economic crisis, SHTF situation, and people are a threat to home and hearth and your loved ones, a 22 is better than protecting yourself with one of these, right? So start with a round that you feel comfortable with. That's number 1. Number 2, get trained. Absolutely, if you're new to guns, I highly recommend you get trained by a qualified professional. There are many avenues for that, but definitely get trained. Number 3, practice. Go to the range, go to outside, go wherever you need to go, follow local ordinance and regulations and laws, but you really do need to practice on a regular basis. And then 4, you need to prepare mentally. This is really important. Again, when it comes to prepping the Yankee way, you got to be prepared to make use of this prep in the situation that warrants it. And I like to say it this way. You shouldn't carry a weapon unless you are prepared to pull it. You shouldn't pull a weapon unless you're prepared to point it at someone. And you shouldn't point a weapon at someone unless you're prepared to shoot them. And you shouldn't shoot a person unless you're prepared to kill them. Yeah, that's kind of dark for Yankee. I'm a very compassionate guy. I definitely try to avoid confrontation. I try to avoid anything that can escalate. But you need to be prepared. You need to think through what it would mean if there are people that are out to harm you and to take away your life, whether it be by taking your food or water or attack you. How far are you willing to go to protect yourself? It's a big deal to think about actually using this, not so much on a rabbit, but on a human being. And just because we're prepared doesn't mean we relish the thought. So enough of that. I will say that I am thrilled to live in the great granite state of New Hampshire. Live free or die, where we can walk around not only open carry, but concealed carry, right? And we don't even need to have a permit to have a gun. And the reciprocity in New Hampshire is really great too. Highly recommend that if you want to live in a state that honors our Second Amendment rights, check out New Hampshire. So I guess that's it, guys. Thanks so much for watching. And until next time, I hope your day is A-OK.